Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at EOS then, shall we? We've not looked at EOS in a little while because there's really not been much to say about it, apart from how devastating it was from the top to the bottom. Technically a shitcoin, really. That's a kind of a shitcoin behaviour. Out of all the top cap coins, this is definitely the worst one that I've seen so far. But just to let you know, I mean, I've actually just topped up some of my EOS position. This is the first time I've bought more since this dump down here. That was based, not just a random sort of thing that I did. I bought into the accumulation zone down here, and then I topped up only because we saw one of these signals on the Ichimoku cloud. We got one of these here, we dumped down. I know how bullish these little crosses can be. They might not look like much, but they are really bullish, so I topped some more up. Not bought any since, sold around the $13 zone. Not much, like 25%. Took my investment out plus double or maybe triple, and let the rest ride. For better, for worse, all the way down. So again, this is the first time I've bought some EOS. If we're looking at the weekly, we're above all major moving averages on the weekly, which is a good place to be. We're coming to this area of major resistance here, and this resistance, once broken, should easily pop up all the way to about $7.30, $7.40. Doesn't sound like much of a move, but for EOS, if and when this breaks, it should ride up to that level pretty fast. I mean, that's usually how EOS behaves: lagging, slow, disappointing, very testing of your patience, and then suddenly everything just pops and it just goes. We've got a golden cross just confirmed, very slow I mean, technically it is a golden cross, but very slow and I would probably say weak, really. But these moving averages together have provided a very strong support. We've got the 200 and the 50 exponential, bang bang here, bang bang here, and at the moment we're going to be playing a range between $4.70 and the top of the range here about $5. We call it $5.20. So things are looking pretty good. The only other thing that we've got to take out would be this 200 moving average, which does have a bit to a bit of significance for EOS. This red one here, we don't normally use standard moving averages, but EOS being such an old coin, it kind of likes those kind of things. We're also brewing a kind of I suppose a decent move with the Itchy Cloud, not in a long-term trend continuation type vibe, but we are above the cloud. The cloud is green. The Chiku span's still within the cloud here. If we can just get this Chiku span to close outside of the cloud, it should offer us that move, the move that we're looking for, basically to push all the way up to this zone here. Now, when we get to here, I would obviously like to see it break, and if it does, a big move all the way up to around $10 should be performed. But with EOS, the way that it likes to move is it likes to take out certain areas and then basically consolidate all the way back down to it. So if we could have a big move all the way up to here, it would not surprise me at all if we came back down all the way down to test this level over here before the next sort of incremental step back up to break above here and then come back down to here. That's just generally how EOS behaves, and so I'm not looking to hold this EOS I mean, I'm holding plenty of it, but the EOS that I've topped up now is simply just for a scalp trade, really, into EOS, out into BTC at around about 16,000 sats. So speaking of sats, we're just going to go over to the Bitcoin chart, and as in like EOS Bitcoin. This shows a different ball game altogether. So a bottom here and a top at the 200 exponential. That is completely fine and absolutely 100% what you'd expect to see on the first retest of a 200 exponential. The chart here isn't as bullish at all. It's slow and steady, but it's pretty weak. You could probably find a trend line form. Yeah, you can here. You can pretty much see it. So we've got a bit of a trend line going on here for upwards support. So long as this holds slow and steady, we'll win the race against Bitcoin in the short term. And again, 16,000 sats is where I'm looking to take this out. And the reason being is that if we think about what that looks like on the chart, it's more or less a support resistance kind of vibe going on around here. Now, I'd like to see that break, obviously, but that's my scalpy little trade going on there. If we look at the MACD slowly turning up, hopefully over the next week or so, we'll peak up above that 0 point, and a break and a closure above the 200 exponential should offer that extra move all the way up to my first scalpy sell target, really. And that's not a small move. This sort of thing I'm not expecting to happen immediately. From here to here, it's just short of 50%, so more or less coincides with you know, the areas of on tether pairing really, which is kind of around here, $7.40. So that was about 47%, and this is also about the same kind of vibe. So I'm looking for a kind of the same move across the board for Bitcoin and for tether, and depending on which one makes it, you know, if my sell order for Bitcoin gets hit first, or it takes a little longer for it to hit, or maybe I'll just close it manually. It's just for a bit of a swing trade. Again, the signals are brewing, they're not quite in, with the golden crosses forming, if probably you could argue is formed, and the itchy cloud will get that drive once this cheeky spank gets out of this cloud and closes above this cloud on a daily term time frame. And again, you know, we're at resistance right now, literally at it right now. There's a little bit of a problem above us, just a little bit above at that 200 moving average, and then that should be all it takes for it to push up to a level like that relatively fast. You know, in classic standard EOS momentum drive. And that's kind of the deal. So EOS is looking pretty good in my opinion. Obviously, EOS is not for the faint-hearted. EOS is a slow burn, and you know, until it pops, and then it just goes crazy. So, you know, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not a financial advice. It's just my latest trade, really, and this is the setup that I'm playing with it, and this is what I'm expecting. And of course, I am dealing with EOS here, so I am not expecting it to be 100% in the bank at all. I mean, over time, surely it definitely will, but I mean, yeah, I'm looking for this trade to be complete, hopefully within a 3-week period, but that might be a bit over optimistic. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Live stream tonight for those who are Patreon members. If you're not, there's links in the description below. There's also a Telegram chat in the description below if you want to join that, where we all just bang on about crypto all the time. Anyway, I'll see some of you tonight, and yeah, hopefully you'll have a good day and take it easy.